Uh, oh, you are. We are now live. Okay. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Kat show, Kal Katster, and this is a review of Overlord, which I saw evening around the set. Yeah. So this is a um, yeah, it was okay. um, the movie, the previews were for Bumblebee and another thing, a couple other things. There was a horror movie thrown in there, a haunted sort of family or something. Forest. Oh, Pet Sematary, a remake of Pet Sematary. We don't really need a remake of Pet Sematary, but okay. And a number of other things that were thrown in there. I can't say I really liked the original all that much. Anyways, so here's Overlord. Takes place in World War II, the Battle of France, basically. A platoon, a paratrooper platoon, which they kind of mix up with an army platoon. But okay, paratrooper platoon lands in near this French village and has to destroy the tower that the Nazis have put on top of a church. And so he's so they go in there, and there's only a few of them left, and they end up being befriended by this French girl whose aunt is sick from some weird Nazi experiment, and she's there with her 8-year-old brother, and there's this evil Nazi captain that comes over and apparently is accosting her every other night or so. It's kind of like Inglourious Bastards, which was a remake of Inglourious Bastards. But yes, yeah, the Tarantino movie was a remake. So it's also a little bit like Dirty Dozen, kind of. So it's got a lot of elements of other things in it. They use a bike, Nazi bike, that at one point that's very similar to the one that somebody at our church has, which is not relevant, but it's interesting that it's like virtually the same kind of bike as the movie. It's cool. Maybe he lent it to the movie. That'd be neat. Probably not, but yeah. So it's funny that the old World War II stuff looks old now, and it probably didn't when it was built. Oh, anyway, there were C-47 paratroop transport planes in it. That was cool. DC-3s. There were markings were proper for that. Unlike in Red Tails, when they literally gave them red tails, which didn't actually happen because that would make them targets. In this one, it was more realistic in that respect. Although some of it wasn't. I mean, they're like the Nazis are creating experiments. It's the evil Nazi lab. The evil scientist is down there. It's creating the experiments to make the 1,000-year master race. And it's like, okay, this guy's like an ancestor of Strasbourg from Transtech, basically. Pretty much. Not really. But that would only be if I directed. I didn't direct it. I had nothing to do with this movie. There were a few names that I recognized. Island people credits, but that's okay. But that didn't have anything to do with it. It's called Overlord. The Overlords from Starcrackers. Nope. Different kind. They were more like the Augments or Khan from eugenics characters. And of course there's magic blood that they have in a vat that they get a hold of that can do a horror show. It was a better Dr. Frankenstein movie than the Dark Universal thing from last year with the Mummy. This would have made an interesting Dr. Frankenstein spinoff. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. There was a lady that was just a head with a spine, and it was talking, and it was freaky. In the lab, there was another dead guy in a bag that was half dead, and he was like talking. The creatures' effects were cool. The makeup was cool. At times they even had they grabbed hold of the Nazi captain at one point, and they were torturing him. Of course they were. I don't know if that actually really happened or not, but it was a movie. It was a shock value kind of movie. Some jump scares, very loud in the parts where they were having like gunshot, gunfire. They tried to do a World War II Village Siege movie, as well as Siege the Tower movie, a la like Hogan's Heroes or Starling 7 or something. But yeah, not a bad movie. It was okay. Yeah. I don't know if it was 4 stars. Like the critics seem to really love it, but I don't know if it's quite that. 3.5 maybe. The glitz of it is just like there, but it's not. It's not awesome. It's just sort of very good, not awesome. Yeah, the fact that J.J. Abrams only produced it is probably a good thing. Actually, directly produced it. Somebody else directed it. One of his friends. They do have magic blood in it, which makes you into super soldiers. Kind of sounds like Captain America a little bit too. Yeah. But yeah, they also showed a preview for Captain Marvel, which is cool. It was set in the 90s apparently. Opening scene of the preview, the ship crashes into a blockbuster. Of course it does. Anyway, that's a subtle hint there. Yeah. So, in this movie, though, it tries to be a superhero movie for about the last half part of it, 30 minutes. Spoilers. I won't really tell you how it ends, but just know that the Kal Kat thing on they have to fight the super monster at the end. One of them becomes partly a monster. There's a lot of interplay back and forth and stuff, and the guy that looked a little like John Boyega but wasn't, he was in it, and somebody new I don't recognize from anything really. Also, I don't know who I don't recognize the actors playing the girl either. There's a lot of new people in this one. So, at one point, there was a silly scene in which one of the hero guys grabs the 8-year-old boy and runs with him somehow away from the hail of gunfire in the story, and it's like, no, they would have been riddled with bullets. But I mean, the movie has a giant like super creature, so okay. Yeah, suspension of disbelief. A monster in the basement, literally. Monster chumming bad guy. But yes. Also, they toned down the symbols of the swastika, all that. For some reason, they toned that down a little bit. They've done that. Yeah. I don't think they would have. There was this. Yeah, it was okay. There was this odd rap song at the end, apologizing for rap in the lyrics. It was weird. In the end credits, there was this rap song that was going through the litany of how in the rap song how blues and gospel begat each other, and rap and jazz begat rap, and all these other things begat that. And then the guy's talking about his kid life when he was raised up, and how he was encouraged by his ancestors. It has nothing to do with the movie, really. This rap song in there, it was like a Buzz Lehman flashback from that Great Gatsby movie, and it's like, okay, this song doesn't fit here. It would fit better in something like I don't know, Boys in the Hood kind of thing sequel, I guess. Something like that. Maybe in NWO2 or something. Just fit better there, because yeah, it's like it was apologizing for the other movie as if it was the same guy that did the lyrics for the other movie, and he wanted to do this rap song to explain why he was creative and wanted to put this rap song in the movie. Which is fine if it was that kind of a, if they were going to put a rap song in it, they should have put it in earlier too, I guess. But it's kind of nice that they didn't. It was a nice rap song, but it doesn't fit in a World War II movie. It's too campy, I think, for that. It just breaks the fourth wall and says, "Oh, look, by the way, this is a movie about movies." I was like, don't do that, Abrams. Come on, movie about movies with rap. Yes, in case you didn't know, the Great Gatsby remake had changed all of its lyrics to that of a rap song based on the trailer which used it. and made the jazz sound a little off, and that's why they didn't get an Oscar, pretty much. Because it was, yeah, they would have got an Oscar, but they used music the old fogies weren't used to. So then it became more like that Moulin Rouge remake by Baz Luhrmann, and not something more awesome than it could have been. This movie has this wasn't Baz Luhrmann. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's fine. War movie. Yeah. War's hell. No. But yeah. But super soldier creature and whatever. Is it the beginning of the Cloverfield? Yeah, is it in the Cloverfield universe? Because it kind of could be. Are that the red stuff going to be slush or just magic blood? They said something like, "Oh, the area, the ground is they had to refine it, and it was already in the river to begin with. A toxic energy that augments them, or something." Which would then beg the question, why, and how did he get back in? And oh well, movie about a giant monster. I can't take it that seriously. It's trying to be a serious war movie, but at the same time trying to be a horror fantasy about like giant creature things. Sure, why not? Made more sense than the preview for Glass with the three crazy people. You got Glass, and you got Unbreakable, and you got Split. All three of them in the room, and then they escape, of course. That's in the trailer. They did show that, and it doesn't really look that interesting. It's like, okay. So they just basically gave away the whole movie in the trailer. Here's what happens. Here's what they do. Here's where they go. I guess the dialogue will be different enough. But at least when they showed the trailers for Overlord, they didn't give away too much. And that was nice. Yeah. In fact, it was a kind of a fake out, actually. The part where in the trailer where the guy walks up to the little eyepiece and he looks on the wall and there's something screaming behind there. That was just one little scene in the movie. It wasn't the main movie. It was just this guy, the soldier. He's exploring around in the good guy. He's looking around in there and he looks in this keyhole. This thing jump scares him from behind it. It was kind of fun, and it doesn't come out of the door. It just jump scares him. Yeah, she's like, what is that? That's all that was. So that was cool. It was a big setup, and it was just this little, it was like one little scene in the middle of the movie. Kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. So there's a way to do effective jump scares and make it. It's not horrific or scary. It's just startling. But in that respect, it was kind of fun. I thought it was more a scary, gross scene was the one in which he finds the bag moving that's on this hook thing up there, and the thing starts talking to him. Oh, we got Sparkle in the background film. Anyway, about something. She's recording another video on the other side. So yes. Anyway, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and I'm gonna put this up for my Overlord review and yeah. So Overlord. It's Overlords. No, it's not from Silly Trek, although that is the name of one of the bad guy races, the Overlords. But they're not augments, though. They just have Q powers, which is better than being augments. Yeah. Q powers. Q-like powers. They're basically spoofing Q. Which would beg the question, if you had an omniscient race, wouldn't you have another omniscient race that created them? Because, the idea of omnipotent race being... yeah, so... yeah. Maybe that was a sneeze. Anyway, the girls. Yeah, yeah. Hello, kitty cats. Kitty cats. Kitty. Like she's watching a movie. Anyway, so yeah. Uh-oh. Hello. Off camera there. Anyway, so yeah, this is the movie. Yeah. Overlord. Go see it in theaters. I won't give it away. Cut.